Good morning, everyone. Today we're going to have fun with some fun exercises. And the first thing that we're going to do is start to do a very light warm up. The light warm up I suggest today when we talk about mobility is just start with the most natural movement that you could have. And I really am a fan of this movement here because it's really getting me involved from head to toe. See, you can see my big toe on the floor. See, and have to open up my feet to anticipate the turning of my hips. See, so here is where I can have a problem. Like that's where both of them start getting involved. So you see, so this here, how I choose to do it enables me to be in control of my entire system, from the toe to my head's posture, right? So my head's connected to my spine, obviously, right? So my posture. And is there any distortions that I can notice in my spine, right? This here enables me to pay attention to my posture, my heart, and how my abs are involved in my movement. So I guess if you're dancing with yourself, right? And here you're learning to feel. So I'm learning to feel in movement. So the mobility here is a mobility that goes beyond the physical into the emotional, right? Into the mental mobility, bending my understanding, right? As I'm learning, allowing myself to see beyond the commonly accepted beliefs that I have not interacted with yet, right? So I want to be able to interact with movement in a way that I can learn. So what I'll be really focusing on today, and for the time to come, will be how one person that can really embody all the different types of people that exist on this planet, right? From this common angle, how do I get fit? What is the language of fitness? What is the language of my heart, right? What can I expect from the mechanics of my mind, right? And how is my body overwhelmed with inner resistance, right? right? Or is able to overcome this resistance through this courage because it knows what to expect. So that way I could expect myself, and I'm going wider in my arms, I could expect myself to be able to walk calmly into what I always have been, right? And develop that instead of relying on external sources that don't allow me to understand how to operate my own body. Imagine you could develop for yourself an instruction manual. Well, that's what we're doing here, okay? And this is beautiful now. I like this one. See, I'm open up, and then I close my fist at the end. And people usually have this one way of doing things. They see the movement that matches as close as possible what someone is doing. So they keep doing something in their head, but they're not allowing themselves to explore what is possible for them and feel those slight variations because they don't think that they can, right? So smoothly, right? Smoothly, smooth. And now let's finish off here. See? Mobility. So I use movement from the beginning to be able to go to a safe mobility. So I'm going to show you what I look like here. It's almost as if I was pushing on my elbow, on my shoulder, right? Pushing it, allowing me to find my ultimate rotation. Okay. And now from here, I'm going to go to the other side. See? Completely completed. Look, this foot is going to turn in. And like as if I was a gentleman, gentlewoman, right? Inviting you to our theater. Please come into our theater. The seats are nice and comfy. And you see how I have to lean forward, but my back is still straight. See? It's really the ultimate stretch. Well, one of them. Ah, beautiful. And I have to watch out because I could hurt myself here, right? I'm playing with my limit. So I got to be mindful. And if it feels good, it's because it is good. All right. So I'm going to turn on my light here. Let's hope that helps us. Is that better? All right. Woo! All right. So now next thing I'm going to practice doing here is mobility coming from my lower body. Okay. So when I do this, You're gonna have this position that you find in yoga, right? Where you come down and, it's triangle pose. Here, I'm just starting off with it, with being able to turn my hips and on my heel without overextending my knee, okay? And that's a danger here, as if I was going to lean forward. Dangerous because you could hyperextend your knee, right? So you got to be mindful, right? So this is what I'm talking about, mental flexibility, right? And then where you're flexible and mobile, you could add power and strength to it, right? It's being basically coachable, mental flexibility. So, wow, my thoughts haven't gone there before. Well, you're going to stretch your thoughts, right? You're going to allow yourself to go there, and then you're going to be stronger. So whenever I find myself in this position, remember, there's a risk for hyperextension. But then once again, I feel the benefits in my lower back. See, and I could go a little bit lower, but I'm not trying to sacrifice my posture to do so. So my hand here that stays back helps me to monitor my posture because it's helping me to have my shoulder blades back. So it's a secret. See? And it's like as if I was stretching both of my arms behind my back. When those people could touch behind their backs, they're like, how did they do that? Freaking too flexible yoga people, And then like this, my back is telling me thank you, right? I'll give you a little secret here. I just invented this right now, it's live. Why? Because it's basically just a new sentence that I've created with words that I understand, right? This is the language of my body being well. I gotta be calm, relax, and then there's naturally occurring movements that are gonna happen when you really understand the simplicity of the body, which can make itself complex. So I'm trying to teach you new complex stuff. Let's just try to understand you the simplicity of how the body is when it's well. It's calm, it's relaxed, it's mobile, there's no attachment, there's no I'm missing time, there's no think about something else, picking up calls, what am I gonna do? You see, it's like, that is when the body's at its best, right? And then you learn to introduce that into situations that are more demanding, okay? So very important to find silence when you're doing these type of exercises. Next one we're gonna start working with is using the chair here. You don't have to use the chair, right? You could even use a wall here. I will use the wall this time, okay? And what I'm doing here is this leg, see, it could be hyperextended. So I make sure that it's not, okay? So I'm grounded, and remember, I'm trying to do more with less. My autofocus is not happy. And you know what? I can't wait to have better equipment to be able to do this, to be able to film these courses for you with higher quality, with video editing, with images when I'm trying to talk about like a metaphor. And that's why I need your help here. All right, throughout this whole month, we're going to find ways of finding more people to do these classes with us. And we will make sure that we could follow through as a group, getting the results that we want. So I just switch legs here. And you see this thing here with my stomach here? That helps me keep my posture right. And remember, when I check my posture, it's like as if I was doing a row with my back. I don't know about you, but when I have a problem having a good posture, I think about my row. Pulling 2 cables at the gym, and it naturally makes me have a good posture. See, I have to create it. I have to create my posture based on something that's logical. One more time each side. And you want to feel relaxed here. Relax my neck. What if you were having a job interview? I like that. Or you're interviewing someone and they could only see the upper part of your body, right? Would they be able to realize you're doing exercise? That is what you want for self-defense, and that's what you want for a powerful presence. When you can compress the presence of who you are, your heart, your gut, your mind, right, into a given situation, where people could feel that you're fully present. All your attention is zoomed in on a target. Well, guess what? In combat, it's the same thing. Sometimes just because, imagine you turn to someone one day and you see it's like as if you're facing a shark that was looking right at you. And that shark, nothing budgets its attention people will start paying attention to you when they see that your attention is that focused on them. So you got to command respect sometimes when you feel people don't listen to you. You're not able to have your presence assemble itself so people will respect that. Okay, so here, opening up my foot, and I'm going to go here with the mobility of stretching here, the side wall. And for me, it's helping me right there in my back. Right there is where I have some scar tissue from an injury that I had in my back. I could stare at the floor here, and I could look up to the sky. That's for my neck. This feels amazing for my back. And we could exaggerate this, and we won't right now. So here I need to get up. So I use my hand to help me get up because it is a vulnerable position. Now to the other side, what do? I open this up. See the anticipation of the turning of my hips. And I am perfectly on the side, as if I was going to go do a cartwheel, you know? I'm right here. I could look up with my attention, and I could exhale to the floor. Ooh, I almost felt something pop in my back. In the good way, like with a chiropractor. 2 more. So I'm opening up my chest and just my head. 1 more. Beautiful. And this time, there's another way I could do. I could bend down to come here as well. Both of the styles that I showed you using my hand or bending down allow me to reduce the strain that I could have on my back that wasn't ready to handle that type of strain. You see, you got to notice how vulnerable that you are when you're doing your exercises. So next thing I'm going to do here, I'm going to work with the mobility of my shoulders. So many ways I could do this. I could hold a wall and I could try to come down, right? I'm not going to do that. What I'm going to do here is I'm just going to bring my hands behind my back. See, as if they're down here, and allow it to move back. See here, oh, I feel the strain, and I'm going to bend my legs a bit, and just see the limit of where my back stops. When I'm standing up, this is what it looks like. See, they've reached back. So reach back with your arms and allow yourself to bend forward a bit. And then you're going to see if at some point you could hold your hands together. So I'm going to try attaching my thumbs together. No. I'm going to intertwine my fingers. My shoulders roll back, and then I'm bending forward a bit. See, this is comfortable, and I'm not straining myself. And coming back up. And when I'm coming up, I'm squeezing my abs here. See, I'm squeezing my abs. And this is tough. I'm trembling right now, but I'm calm. So I could be calm and tremble at the same time. Did you know that's possible? Yeah, my body's like, woo, this is tough, right? And my mind is mindful and calm about the process. So this makes sure I don't break my back when I'm leaning back. This is why people hurt their back in some ab exercises. They don't know how to keep their abs turned on. They're going for a movement that they see on the outside, but they're not connected to the effort that it takes on the inside. Like you want your mind to be a supervisor to your muscle contraction. Are your muscles firing the way that they should? They won't always. You know, you can have some lazy muscles sometimes, not really getting involved because they never really learned how to do so, right? Now you're teaching your muscles which ones should be firing. So now, see my abs? Hear that? That's my abdominal contraction. And this is advanced stuff. And 1 more. Ooh. Oh, trying to make it feel as good limit as possible. Ooh. And relax. Relax. I'm really feeling this in my lower back in the good way. So I'm allowing the wellness of my back guide this movement. So that's individual to me, although it comes and connects just about every human. Okay, right here, abdominal contraction. Hey, wait a minute, I hear my baby. Baby, are you coming? Yeah. You see, if we get enough money, I could get this edited out. And one more here. Whew, beautiful. What would be advanced here? When people do the limbo, this is how you wouldn't get hurt, right? When you're doing the limbo, because your abdominal contraction is there. Another one would be if someone wants to hit you, right? And you're able to move out the way without losing your balance. So this is just something that if your body wanted, while you're having fun, or while you still want to have fun, but someone's attacking you, for you not to get hurt in that process and being able to do what your mind would think that is logic, your body has to be able to follow up with that. So the problem is when the body feels like it can't work with what the mind wants to do. You know, your mind wants to do something, but it feels the body can't pick up. That's the problem. And you want to make sure that everything can move as one. Okay, so that's the way you could be spontaneous. All right, now we're going to open up the hips. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the wall here. My butt's touching the wall. I have my abdominal contraction. And now I'm just going to try to see where can I lower my hips. At least the wall's helping me. And I'm pushing with my elbows. I'm prying with my forearms or elbows or the back of my arm. Anything between this here is making contact with my legs. And it's kind of like helping them open up. And I'm going to lower myself and open them. And stay here. So it's less about the contraction in my legs. It's more about feeling my hips heard and respected. Okay. My hips are guiding this movement. They're telling me where I could get hurt. And they're telling me what feels al dente. Right. And when we want to, you know, let's say get the splits as soon as possible to like impress someone else, we'll hurt ourselves. Guess how I know that? I've injured myself already doing that. I went to get the split in so little time because I was always able to do it at some point, and I stopped, and I went to get it back right away because I felt it would help me look cooler. Yeah, I'm being honest, right? I hurt myself because I did too much in too little time. I was not listening to my body, right? I was listening to, people would call it the ego, but yeah, what I was listening more to the voices of approval that I would get is somehow would magically appear being able to do the split. So I was in a dreamland and not in reality. Okay, so listening to your body helps you stay in reality and not get hurt. So now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to try doing another form of stretch for my hips. I'm going to, see, because I did this, I'm able to walk my fingers to the outside. See, everything's on this leg, and I'm just trying to allow my hips to move back. Move back. And there's a point of it where it feels comfortable, and there's a point where it's not going to be fun anymore. And this is good because it strengthens my fingers. It helps me open up my hand. So I don't have to go get this machine to do this with my fingers, you know, the one with the springs. This naturally does it because my fingers are putting up a fight. It's like as if they're trying to crush something, right? And then to go up, I just turn. See? Here. And the fact that I'm leaning my stomach on my leg, on my thigh, it helps keep my back straight, right? See, there's a straight line with my back. And then I try to slip back my toes to find the stretch that I want. And all you need to do is observe your comfortable limit. Comfortable enough to observe, right? But acknowledge that if you go beyond this point, you feel, your muscles are telling you, it might not feel good. And then you get good at projecting those possibilities, right? By experience. And good. And then one hand at a time and back up. So this is how a very old body would find a way of restoring its mobility to its usefulness. Okay. All right. So another thing I'm going to do here is we're going to practice just mobility of movement, which is a form of coordination. And look what I did here. I just used the problem, right? My hips. I just used an exercise to warm this up so I could do this in an easier manner without hurting my back now, right? while doing this movement because there's a risk for it. Okay, and we'll do another exercise that connects to it. So see, I reached out. I'd be like, oh my goodness. Imagine someone moving like that. Is it safe? Okay, and see, and like, so I start putting more of my weight here and less of my weight there. And look what happens. I could pull it in. Okay. Is the pool the right temperature? All right, I could jump in it. Whatever it is. Or is there a real floor here? Is this a booby trap, right? You know, maybe you were at a camp and someone made you a story about how there's people that set up booby traps in the forest. And you're like, are you kidding me? Or is there maybe a booby trap here? You know, you project that as a possibility, so you check. So no, the floor's safe after all. And I'm telling you, out of all the exercises we've done, this is one that's the most dangerous for me. Okay? Because now your body is turning your upper body. So this would be a better way of doing it and not taking out all the risks. But when I'm coming up, there's always a light one. So that's why you got to really listen to, how can I do this feeling less undesired pain? This is tough. See, I'm reaching out. See, I have to kind of turn to reach, and I could even use my elbows or my hands. Now I'm good. See, we did this already, right? And I pull this in. So using my hand right now assists my weaker muscles in my spine right now. You have a lot of tiny, tiny, tiny stabilizers in your back. And when they get tired, it's easy for you to get injured. And here, this is the best one. So I'm not helping myself up with my hands. I'm assisting the stabilizers in my back to do this movement without pain. Now there's zero pain in my body. You don't want to just keep working on the pain. Right? You want to be able to loosen it out. And that's what I'm doing right now. See? So this is from the perspective of someone that has a very damaged body, right? That's an elderly person that wants to get back into shape. And it's like, why don't I just learn this from my youthful age, right? I'll never have a problem if I could pay attention to those details faster and instinctively. And the last one. See, this feels good now. Now it's zero pain. So now, let's say I didn't have my hands. See, now there's zero pain at all in my back. So the pain was telling me to pay attention. Good thing I had this pain. And see it now? Perfect. One more each side. See, down. Look, I look. See, I'm being mindful right now. I'm like, wow, zero pains. Right? And I don't need my hands. Look, no hands, Mom. Right? See, watch out. That was tough. And up. And that was amazing. Right? That was good. My heart was like, that was good. Okay? All right. Now we're going to do another thing. And it's called changing directions in, back and forth. Okay? When you do something like that, your back can be disturbed, right? Because it depends on how you walk. So what I want to practice is taking smaller steps. Okay? And I focus on making sure that my heel and the outside of my foot can make contact on the floor a little bit. See? A little bit. I walk in place and back. Here's all about your posture and imagining yourself changing directions as you're walking and having your posture undisturbed. And when you come closer, and then you're coming back without losing focus from what you're doing. Once again, imagine that you were at a job interview and you want to make the person think that the camera is zooming in and out on your face. You're just screwing with them. like my autofocus right now that went out. You know, you want to make sure that your face here stays clear like that, and you could talk with them, right? Or you could also imagine people are trying to poke you, right? Because the camera's only facing here, and your kid's trying to poke you in your legs, and you're just moving in and out. The goal is to have an undisturbed mind. See? Because I'm always aware of my posture. So you could have this also as a trick as you're doing this to see how distorted your posture goes throughout the day. That's why when I breathe mindfully, I'm always checking my posture. Okay? Good. All right, there's another thing that we did that was connected to that last time. Please, I hope my autofocus is going to work properly. And it was when I practiced to be here, to pivot, and pivot. There's a danger with the foot that could stay stuck on the floor, so you got to be light on your feet. So I'm going here, see, and I could pivot. In and out, see? And I have to ground myself when I catch myself. See, and it's really happening at the feet level because you want this to be natural. And when we're talking about self-defense, you want to be able to have that smooth transition. So it's going to look like this at the beginning. Then you're going to notice it becomes easier. Why? Did you notice I'm not doing it from here? Not very athletic. I really didn't feel my knee was comfortable here. So I grounded myself a little bit. And you can do it this way. Let's try to keep your eyes in front of you. See? Turn around. That's the combat version. So here, always keeping your eyes on your enemy. And we will use this during our next sessions to be able to reset our posture. What's going on? What's going on, right? So I'm here. See, and it's even touching something that we saw earlier on today with that ultimate stretch. See, so I can keep my hands here. And you see this turning of my head is how I could have gone for a strike or send even a kick. That's what I would use. I would use this if I had to send out a kick, right? If I had to send out a kick. But that's not what I want to do today. It's putting more power into it. Someone comes in. No, you don't. No, you don't. And trying to play with the speed and falling into the position that you want. And feeling light on your body is called useful activity. Just imagine someone that wants to attack you and you could kind of move your head around and they could never really get to you, right? Because you're like always moving and you have this coordination. Did you know the best fighters in the world will practice dancing for their footwork to be light on their feet? So they're actually having fun as you're all stressed out. They could hit you when you want, when they want, and you can't hit them. All right, good, amazing, amazing. So I'm happy that you were able to do that, able to follow up with that, and now we're going to continue playing with mobility. So when we're going to think about mobility, we're going to think also about the shoulder being able to reach back enough, okay? So there's many ways you could do this. I could have used a chair to do this, where I allow my body weight to come down, and I'm going to feel it here in my lats also. And come back up. I'm going to use my abs to do this as well. I'm squeezing my abs, and I'm moving back. And it has to feel good on my shoulder and back up. I don't want it to feel vulnerable inside of the shoulder where the bone is. So there's a muscular contraction that happens in my back muscles to control the stretch. So there's a team effort here. We isolate things too much. We just think, let's say, about moving the shoulder as much as possible, and we don't realize that every muscle group has a team effort from the entire body. Good, okay? That helps a lot. So being able to reach back naturally is good. Sometimes it'll feel more natural to have it go up here a little bit more to the side. That puts a bit less stress on the people that have very vulnerable shoulders, okay? So now let's go with the back and forth here. And we're going to do it in some way where it's left leg. I'm going on my left leg, and the goal is just to be able to swing as if you're going to do something, right? You're going to jump. See? And now you double check your shoulders. Something felt weird on this one, so I got to double check again. So I went a little bit wider this time. See? A little bit wider with my arms to make sure that there's no clicking feeling in my shoulders. See? Almost. And I play with the rotation of my hands that opened up a little bit more. Good. Now we're going to do the same thing with the other side. So I'm going to go with my right leg. So I notice what's best for me is when my hands are a little bit more open here as they come up. It puts less strain on my shoulders. But I listen, right? My body's telling me this. I felt a little crack again. Well, that was better, and I had my hands this way. And that's what it's going to take. It's always going to take this mindful adjustment, and you have to know what your options are. But you can't just ignore these little details and expect to be in shape for the rest of your life. You're basically healing and reinforcing your body, or you're injuring it over time and not allowing it to feel better with time. Anything that's ignored won't feel better with time. 3 more. 1. I feel better now. I got it. 2. And 3. So what was cool about this is I had to start wider, and then I was able to go closer. So I had to go up this way, and at the end I could go up this way without any problems in my shoulders. Proving once again that we never really understand how to bring out our limit, right? We limit ourselves in what we try. We don't know what to adjust, and we never reach our limit. We injure ourselves as we try to reach it. See how it changed? Same thing with flexibility. Let's prove it some other way. So here what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put my hips on the wall. My goal is to make sure that my shoulder blades stay back, and as I do this, but they're not tense, and I'm just gonna exhale and wait. When I exhale, just a little bit at a time. A little bit at a time, right? People are not patient enough. They just go to a limit in their heads and stay stuck there. As if in their mind, I'm not flexible, so that's where I usually stay stuck. No, you just don't know how to release your mobility. Relax. Every time, relax more. You go a bit lower and relax more. And patience, right? Patient. And my body understanding this is allowing itself to trust me and to liberate some of my mobility, because it feels that mentally I'm calm. And this is my perceived limit right now. But every time I exhale, I will dare to see if I could go lower. And this feels perfect right now. Okay, so what I was doing here was proving that if I would have just went to a perceived limit from the beginning in my head, I would have been stuck. The fact that I gradually just went one little thing at a time, I could go in one shot. I went slowly, slowly, slowly. My body felt comfortable. Your body has a defense mechanism so you don't overstretch your muscles. Golgi tendinorum. And when you are stressed, obviously, it doesn't feel comfortable at all. And, you know, like, why would it? It's there to protect you, right? So going gradually and being really relaxed helps your body feel that in body, mind, and heart that you know what you're doing, okay? So here, I'm gonna go back with my seemingly strikes, and I just wanna keep my shoulders relaxed here, right? But at the right height. Usually people are in tension here. So if I had to send a real punch, my arms would be relaxed. And just when I'm about to hit my opponent, does my fist actually close? See, that's why it gives it so much power, right? Because the weight of my arm was not held back by opposite muscle groups or an opposite effort. So, see? So I could just practice this. Just at the last moment, I close my fist. Relax. And the more you stay relaxed here, the better your strike's going to be. So sometimes it seems like we're doing the same thing, but it's absolutely completely different things that use the exact same format. Just like how I could do a move for you, and if I would dress in different sports clothes, you'd be like, oh, that's a basketball move. Oh, that's a yoga move. Oh, that's a martial arts move. Oh, that's a golf move. Oh. And I'm like, well, they're all the same thing. Depends what you're doing. And this is what you want. And noticing where you might overstretch. See, paying attention to that. So now we're learning to accentuate what we want, like, yes, right? But with the yes, I held my power too much. So that's relaxed. So it could have continued if I wanted. And now we're going to allow the arm to stop about here, okay? Like we practiced from the start. So my fist closes to touch my shoulder. And this, I love this, because I know in the world of martial arts, this is a very destructive and stealth strike, meaning you won't really see it coming. Because, I could have been just talking like in an expressive way, right, as I'm talking, and then my punch comes out, right? And that's what you want here. And relax. And how are your shoulders enjoying this? There's one of them, my shoulder was like, meh. And that's what you want to be able to do. Accentuate your movement without disturbing the inner peace of your body. It's like a love story. Your body's trying to help you, and you don't want to injure it. So what's happening here is I'm turning my hand, right? Yes, till it touches. 3 more. 1, 2, 3. Beautiful. Beautiful. So that was a lot of beautiful things to be able to do. So we did standing up rotations of the body. That was amazing. I love that. And then there was obviously opening up her hips. There is also the outside of the hips. A pigeon pose is one of the best things that you can do for this. So what we're going to do here is we're going to open up the legs first, because we're already kind of stretched inside. We're going to go in and out, and then we're going to go into pigeon pose just to really make sure that everything is really well warmed up and mobile for your day. Okay. So here, using the wall is possible also. See, if I go towards the wall here, there's a limit, right? So I don't have to touch the wall. And another thing that's important is my support leg. Okay. I want to make sure that my support leg is in a way where my knee won't twist in a weird way. Okay. So, and I'm like, okay. Okay, that's better. So you have to find the right angle. Doesn't matter if you inhale or exhale at this point, just make sure it matches with one of the movements, such as an exhale. I'm exhaling. I'm going to try my other side. Don't go too high. Just try to stay with what feels good. 2 more. Good. See, that too much in a little time is what's going to hurt you here. Okay, so now I'm going to do it again. This time I'm going to inhale up. See which one's better. This feels better. See, I have more control. Two more. That felt much better. See, dare to see for yourself. Don't just believe me, experience it for yourself. Relax. Last one. Okay. Ooh, I'm feeling that. I'm feeling that here. Good. Perfect time to go for our pigeon pose. So we're going to use again the principle of using our fingers to assess our body, to adjust and handle our body weight. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use what we used today. This here, finding my floor, and then getting my hands on the outside of my foot. And I'm going down here, right? So I'm going to go from my fingertips. I'm going to go on my palms, which lowers me and forces my knee out to the side, where I could set up my pigeon pose. So I slide back. I have to imagine my legs being pulled back, like we did today to practice this split, right? And here's comfortable with my elbows on the floor. This is level one. I like to use 3 levels here. Level 1, I'm comfortable here. It's almost like a resting spot, but you want to make sure that you stay actively monitoring what you're stretching. The worst thing you could have in the world is just assume that because you're doing a movement that you see someone else doing or you saw in a magazine, that you're getting the benefits there. You don't want to waste your time, right? You want to make sure that every possible benefit that you could get in a position is there. And that's the maturation process of going beyond the physical here. You're consulting your body. You're reflecting the logical science that's behind this. And you're experiencing it for yourself. So here, see, I went through my plank, right? And look, I just got up here, I'm good. I walk my hands forward, I'm standing up. Going back down, and I'm gonna go here. See, I feel this, I'm good. So I go down my hands, it forces me down. I have to kind of like move out my foot and then down. Ooh, this feels good. This is my level 1. Now, I'm not thinking about my tax return here. I'm not thinking about who I need to send back a call, right? I'm fully giving all my attention to my body. That's who I am in interaction with. So a problem with fitness is that we're connecting to something that we're going to achieve perhaps like a year from now, right? We're connected to that. And we're not connected in the present moment to if our body will ever be able to reach there with what's happening right now within us. And this disconnect with our own bodies is what's hurting us and what will never get so interested in this interaction with what you could feel inside and where it's leading. Because we don't have that interaction, we'll never really reach your goals because we're not paying enough attention to learn the language of the body. So you can't learn the language of the body if your mind is elsewhere in a projection of when I'm going to get that result, when I'm going to look the way I want to look, when I'm going to get the approval from people saying that you look good. Do you look good right now in how you're managing this? And that's why I leave you in conclusion with how you've been training your whole life and where it's led you. I'm not interested enough in what's going on inside of here. And when I am, all this information that I get from the outside, I fit it with what I could feel. If you can't validate this for yourself, you don't know what you're doing. But you're the expert of your body, not the people outside of you. You collaborate with people outside of you with what based on what you're feeling, right? And making sure that you're not stressing yourself in the process. You want to be able to love the process. If you love the process, the results will be sustainable. If you're rushing the process and when you're in a good mood, you do it. When you're not in a good mood, you don't do it. When you have time, you do it. When you don't have the time, you do it. You're never going to become a professional of your own body. When you own your body, you're owning your heart, you're owning your mind, you know what to expect here, and it matches with what you're learning on the outside. But having stuff from the outside will never penetrate into a habit unless there is a connection, a personal connection with the process as it's happening in your body. You want to feel those reactions that are happening on the inside. And that's how you love the process. And it's just like magic because you never thought that you could get so much benefits once you start paying attention to what was happening in here all along. Take care, everyone. Until next time, I feel great. I hope you're going to feel great for today as well. Take care.